Bling design is a cyclic thing. There's a pendulum that swings back and forth all the time. You've seen it throughout history, but I do think we've seen an incredible bubble being burst with the recession last year, and you're starting to see a lot of design being tempered down. But I think a Bling aesthetic will always remain somewhere in the design world. I think you've seen the big industries, big commodities, cars, yachts, Learjets, all of those kind of things. They took a slight beating within the recession. It was just that there was a little bit less money around, so people spent less, but those industries have still really kept up with their markets. I think the one specific industry was the luxury market, specifically in the clothing market, that was hit really, really hard. And I think the mistake that they made was veer off from the true core principles of designing bling or designing luxury, and they got onto a fast fashion treadmill. So they had to reinvent things, new it bags every 6 months, and that just started cannibalizing what the luxury industry actually meant to people. So what you actually had with the luxury designers is you had a lot of dead stock, because I don't think the appetite for luxury is that fast, and it's not meant to be that fast. And I think you've seen the luxury design industry take a little step back and look and see where they've diverted off the path. What's really interesting to see post-recession is how the advertising for luxury design has been portrayed. If you look at 2008, 2009, what you saw was a lot of celebrity endorsement. We live in the celebrity culture, and you had just, I call it, logo-splattered commodities, which didn't really mean anything. They didn't resonate about quality, provenance, all of those kind of things. Suddenly, you're starting to see post-recession, all of the luxury brands are coming out with the original message of what luxury was. It's about craftsmanship, it's about quality, time taken over those things, and it's about heritage. And I think that message was lost, but that's coming back through more strongly again. I think opulence will always have a place, 21st century, 22nd century, but I don't think one needs to confuse opulence with bling culture. Bling culture for me was derived in the 1980s in American hip-hop culture, and it had a very, very important social message. It was hip-hop artists who possibly came from a ghetto who arrived. It was a status thing, and that's where the bling culture came from. Opulence has been around all the time. If you look at the 17th century, the Palace of Versailles, I mean, I think that was the height of complete opulence, almost decadence as well. But as we move into the 21st century, opulence has a different meaning or different aesthetic. Take, for example, the British Pavilion at the Shanghai Expo. They call it the Dandelion or the Seed Cathedral. It is the most amazing structure. It's made out of 60,000 acrylic rods that each house different seeds. It's part of a project called the Millennium Seed Bank, and it's about biodiversity. And I think it has no metallic sheen, it's got nothing shiny, it's got no diamonds, it's got nothing that says bling, but it is opulent and it's beautiful. And because of the social message it brings across, makes that as impressive as the Palace of Versailles. Future bling design is a tricky road to go on, and there's two streams. One, there's concern about ethics. So if you're using diamonds or how things are mined, minerals are mined for that design or for that object, people's awareness of blood diamonds, that kind of thing, is very, very heightened. So an ethic element needs to be pushed into that aesthetic. It might sound strange, but it is a growing concern, and I think that's how that stream will move. The second one is a very different look at luxury. Luxury, I think, in the 21st century is not necessarily a material object or something that you can buy. So, for example, in South Africa, you've got luxury bush lodges, and it's allowing people to rejuvenate, to have that time to themselves, and going back to nature, and that in itself is luxury. It's 5-star luxury bush lodge, but that's a different kind and a new kind of opulence.